Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian, and in this really quick video, I'm just going to outline some of the core components of uh, the overwhelming offer piece of your platform. So last week, for those of you in the group, I sent out something that said on the first call, the three things that I wanted to cover with most of you are A, your asset, which is the site or the directory or the community that you're building. Uh, B, your income, which is how you're going to earn, an income while you're building your asset. I think the biggest challenge, we can all agree, is actually making money or making enough money from your project or platform that it allows you to get to the point where your asset can accrue the value that it truly deserves. So, it may take 6 months or 4 months or a year for many folks to actually, build an asset that has, a tangible value. And of course, the challenge is for most of us, how do you support yourself? How do you put food on your table? How do you feed your family? In the interim period, especially if you're doing this full time, like many of us are. And the third piece, so there's asset, income, and the third piece of this is what I call irresistible offers or overwhelming offers, as it's laid out in this PDF. So I want to show you really quickly. I'm going to give you the exact steps. I'm also going to give you the exact process map that we're using for our author marketing and self-publishing services that we're using to generate income, and that you're also going to have the ability to sell as an affiliate for us as partners on our platform. But I'm just going to go through the 8 steps really quickly. I'm not going to spend an inordinate amount of time on any of these because we're going to cover this on the phone together for those of you who have calls scheduled this week. And for those of you who don't, hopefully you understand this. And if you don't, just email me and ask away. All right, so the first piece, and this is really in no particular order, but do the niche and need exercise. So what is the niche? And what do they empirically need to succeed? And of course, empirically is really the key word in that sense. You want to make sure that what folks really need is what you're offering, not what you hope they need or not what you know already, but what do they empirically need? If you don't have or can't fulfill what they truly need, then your job as the platform proprietor or community leader is to seek out other folks within the community who do offer those services or products or programs and partner with them, right? That's part of the joy and the fun of building something, is establishing relationships with your professional peers. All right, so where are they deficient? What is empirically true that your ideal audience doesn't have? But if they did have, and in parentheses, I have here a better website, an email lead generation form, a book, a course, etc., that would 100% improve their brand, their business, and their bank account. All right, and as I covered before, it's important that this is a true statement rather than just one you want to be true. All right, number 2, do this Mad Lib exercise. This is not mine. This has been around forever, but this really does work. People in my industry really struggle with this, but if they only knew X like me, they'd have all the Y they could handle. All right, so people in my industry suck at getting traffic. But if they only had an affiliate program like me, they'd have an ongoing source of free visitors and money in the bank to boot. Right? New bloggers suck at building a list, but if they only had a premium blog template optimized for conversions and a free lead magnet, they'd never have to worry about wasting their traffic again. All right? So these things are true statements, and you can go through these in your niche or locality or whatever it is that you're building, and on surface what it is that you can offer that fits this little Mad Lib. All right, this is really important. Number 3, do competitive intelligence. What are other people in your niche market vertical or geographic area offering that you can emulate, right? And I'm going to show you exactly how we did this for our self-publishing suite of services, which again, you're going to have the ability of selling for us or with us, and really doing quite well if you have authors or aspiring authors in your community in April, because that's when we'll really be rolling this out to the platform 10X community. But I want to show you exactly how we did this, and you can do the same thing. All right, decide where you are in the process. This is number 4. Beta launch is great for this. What you have to offer that's valuable, and begin to stack the deck and add overwhelming or irresistible value to the core or base thing that your competition is offering, right? And then leverage your directory or platform as the unfair advantage. All right, that was a mouthful of words that might not have made a lot of sense, but for us, for an example, right, and I'm going to cover this below, find out what your competition is offering. That's step 1. Step 2, just make something better, right? Even if it's just a little bit better, but that is empirically better, that has more value relative to your competition. And then 3, this is where the directory, community, authority site piece kicks in. You can then leverage that, the platform that you have, as the unfair advantage, which allows you to step up and step out relative to your competition. So if you are building a local directory in a city, for an example, and you want to offer web development or design or copywriting or social media marketing services, and everyone else is doing the same thing, you can A, make your offer a little bit better, but then B, you then have this directory or community or local authority site that you can then say, oh, and by the way, we will also feature you, we'll interview you, we'll give you a premium listing, we'll add your products to our marketplace, et cetera, in addition to the core service or offer that you are putting out there relative to your competition. All right, so let's look at the Mindful Marketplace example. My primary passion right now going forward is targeting aspiring authors, who want to write books or want to then take those books and build a brand off of their books. So, I'm looking at chiropractors and doctors and life coaches and mindfulness teachers and yogis and all kinds of therapists and psychiatrists, all kinds of people who are successful in the world right now, who have an empowering message that they want to share with the world by dint of writing a book, right? And I know how to do that and how to position that. And typically, no matter how good they are in their given field, they don't know how to do those things. Therefore, we've put together a whole suite of services, which I'm going to show you below, which again, you will have the opportunity to promote it as a partner in April. But this is really quite simple. So what are other people charging our ideal audience right now to offer a similar service, right? This is the competitive intelligence piece, right? Anywhere from 3 to 5 to up to $50,000 to help successful professionals in the mindfulness, personal growth, medical, alternative wellness, spiritual development field publish books, right? That sounds like a shitload of money, and it is. And on the low end, you have many, many places charging 3 to 5K, quite actually a reasonable amount of money relative to what's being offered in the world, up to something closer to $50,000. If you look at scribedwriting.com, you get a really good example of that. It's a very well vetted company that is doing this work right now. They used to be Book in a Box, and the lead guy there is a guy named Tucker Max, who's written a bunch of very cheesy books in the past about his sort of, fraternity, conquests, but he's built a very successful book publishing company that's doing quite well. They're doing millions of dollars a year, and he charges, or they charge, because it's not just him, upwards of $50,000 to publish on their platform. The other example that I would use, and there are many in this, many analogs to this, but is the author incubator.com. I believe her name is Dr. Angela Lauria, and she's always on Facebook tooting her own horn. She's done some interesting work. We've gotten a bunch of her books, and she charges, again, very large dollars for really helping people in this sort of space: mindfulness, personal growth, medical, alternative wellness, spiritual development, et cetera, write their first books. She heavily seems to target women, and she has a little bit of she's an interesting case study, but her business certainly is doing quite well. And again, as a pure competitive intelligence play, there's a lot there to learn. So, for an example, we'll look at her, follow her ads, and follow her, her ad spend, her Facebook stuff. You can do the same thing with any of your, any of your competitors, for lack of a better word. I'm not going to cover that here, but there's a lot of information that you can do for free or you can acquire for free. And there's even more information that you can acquire if you're serious about this using some competitive intelligence spy tools that are, available everywhere online for a small fee. All right. So here is the, once you identify what it is that your competitors are offering, what can we offer in addition to the core service that our niche ideal audience empirically needs, right? So as you'll see here, and these were real notes that I shared with a couple of our, a couple people that I'm working on this platform with a few months ago on how we can build and embellish and extend and improve the sorts of offers that analogs like the ones above, right, like these two and the 10 or 12 others that we have in our sites, right, how can we improve them? So an entire suite of platform, publishing, blog, and brand building services for authors. Will be one. Author interview for book creation. That would be number two. A brand new optimized author landing page or website. 3. A book launch platform for their own launches. 4. Right. A viral book launch giveaway or contest. 5. Content upgrades or giveaways and lead magnets. 6. Book feature on our platform. This is our Facebook page where we feature their interview and feature them and discuss, their launch, etc. 7. All right, and then you just continue to build and embellish and add. Not all these have to make the final cut, so to speak. A book feature on our directory. So if you're building a directory, you could actually add, I know you're not doing books, but you could add the book or the product or the program or the course or the service on the listing itself, right? That's just another little embellishment that has a value proposition, at least the appearance of one, built in. All right, author interview with a glossy PDF. Course creation, you'll have a book, a course, subscribers, a new website, you'll have giveaways, a platform, and a step-by-step scalable system to rinse, repeat, grow, and flow, for future books, et cetera, et cetera. A high-end coaching program based on your book, right? A high-end online course based on your book. Teach on our platform, right? So now you can also sell to our captive audience of spiritual seekers, self-help junkies, and personal growth aficionados, again, by dint of publishing with us as opposed to publishing with them or any of their analogs. Are we going to win 100% of the time? Of course not. When you have an existing community like some of these guys above do, they're going to have some built-in advantages because they have a much larger track record of success. But there are simple ways of standing out, and this again is predicated on your passion, your strength, your commitment to your community, your smarts, your intelligence, your ability to pitch and persuade, and it's fun, right? I mean, if you have passion for something and you want to compete in a space, this is the way you do it, with skill and with some swag or whatever, to step up and stand out and build something that you love. All right, I think that's 8. No, it's not. All right, number 8 is here. What is it all worth, right? So, what is all this worth? If I were to say to you, with the understanding that you are who I was pitching, if you want to get a book published, if you're a chiropractor or a doctor or a personal growth speaker or life coach, and you wanted to write a book and you've been struggling to write a book for the last decade, right? Or teach your first course or sell your first product online. And you have to remember, no matter how good people are in the real world at what they do best, so many of these folks have no clue, right, how to actually translate that offline success into this sort of space. And, I've been reminded of that time and time and time again, having spent the last 6 or 7 months chatting, talking with, and consulting with many, many super successful people in the real world who are complete dummies or complete novices when it comes to actually translating that success into an online brand building or content marketing campaign. All right. So, how can you translate all of what we just covered above into something that is really valuable and worth something to your ideal audience? Again, with the understanding that writing books or selling a book, selling service is not what you're doing. You're doing something completely different. It may be web design. It may be content marketing, social media marketing. It may be just very niche related to your own, your own community or your own geographical area, right? So add depth, dimension, and detail by ethically demonstrating what this will cost elsewhere or in separate, parts and pieces, or what they wouldn't be what they wouldn't be getting with these other options, right? For really high-end offers, this can be, particularly powerful in that you only need to overwhelm a few people to get a ton of momentum, start making a lot of money, and exciting your audience while changing lives and building something you love, right? So if you're selling, a $50,000 author marketing services, and I would encourage you to go check out some of these examples, just for analogs to the reason I'm so passionate about this as a business model. You don't need that many clients, obviously, to really start to scale or to revenue generate at a high enough level that you can, add employees or, you can outsource or whatever it is that you ultimately want to accomplish, right? You don't need that many clients, even at $5,000. If you have 10 or 12 or 15 in 4 or 5 months, you're already generating enough money that you can at least explore the idea of quitting your job or, hiring someone to run your business, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So this all falls under the rubric of irresistible offers or overwhelming value. How to do it, how specifically I'm thinking about doing it for myself and my partners on our new project and platform. And this is something that if it's just been a whole bunch of fast talking gibberish, you can cover with me on the phone, and I'm happy to guide you through it as well. All right. Hope this has been helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and you have this PDF to download at the link below. Thanks.